evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Raising Bulls, brought to you by the Beautiful Game Network, Roughneck Scarves, and Icarus FC. We are still deep into the quarantine, folks. It's the only podcast dedicated to the New York Red Bulls 2 of the USL Championship, and during that time, we are looking to just bring you some interviews with players. We don't have much to talk about with the league. We're still on break. There's still a hold on teams training, but we know that everybody's kind of doing their own things at home. I hope everybody out there is healthy and safe. I hope all your loved ones are healthy and safe. I know it's been pretty crazy over the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we're getting through this thing as fast as possible and as safely as possible. And today we got Joe Fala. He was a forward for a very long time, really big guy. They have moved him to center back. And we talk a little bit about that and just kind of him coming up through the game and that kind of stuff. And hopefully, brief as it might be, we offer you a little bit of a respite in these times. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying this stuff. And we've got a bunch more on the way, so stick around. We are back once again. This is our third quarantine episode so far, and we are joined by first-year forward turned defender, Joe Fala. Joe, thanks for joining the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I've been starting most of these off, I think, the same way. How are you? Hopefully healthy, and what are you doing to keep busy right now?
Yes, as a club, we are working out every day, staying fit, just working day by day, just for when this season kicks back, we're ready to go.
Yeah, and I talked to Samad as well, and we were talking about how it's a little bit crazy, to come into your first year as a pro and to have this sort of start-stop scenario. Obviously not something that you could prepare for as an athlete, but have you found some positives in the time off?
Yes, it's a time to work on all your things that you need to work on better, get better. Like for me, I need to work on my fast feet, so I've been focusing on that. And during this time, there's no other reason not to just work on your flaws and get them better to be even a better player as you come back.
And you're in the unique position that you were being, and we've seen Red Bull 2 do this before, but transitioning from one place on the field to another and forward to defender, it might seem super foreign, but there's a lot of overlap there, yeah?
Yes, I agree. There's a lot of overlap. Being a forward mostly my whole life gives me tips on like how defenders defended me, and what to do and what not to do, and how I beat them and how they stopped me can help along the way. So I think it's helped me greatly.
And I would imagine, especially a big guy like you, who you're going to be expected to marshal the air, I would expect, while you're out there, that you've got a little bit of a leg up in terms of reading the ball and knowing what to do to get to the ball first.
Yes. The bump right before we go up against defenders or against attackers helps a lot. So I think I've got the aerial duels down. So just focusing on certain things like getting the lineup, stuff like that, like the Red Bulls love to see from their defenders.
Let's rewind the clock a little bit and talk about how you came to the game. You played a bunch of sports in high school, right? Tennis and soccer. One other one I'm sure of, but
basketball. Yeah,
basketball, of course. Yeah, you're a tall guy. Of course, they're going to say you've got to play basketball. What?
Of course, yeah.
What made you lean towards soccer?
I felt like at that moment, graduating high school, I thought I was the best at soccer of the three sports, and I've been playing it my whole life. So, and I had an opportunity to go to Ramapo College in North Jersey. So I chose soccer, and it worked out pretty great.
Just kind of fell in your lap. How were you at tennis? What were you playing? Were you in doubles? Were you first singles?
I was second singles in high school my junior and senior year. I had a 39-3 record, I believe. I was introduced to the sport my freshman year, kind of took it as a joke freshman and sophomore year. And then junior year came around and I had to actually play. So I kind of turned it on and it worked out pretty good.
Did you crash the net a lot? I imagine you forced people to lob over you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
Nice. So you go to Ramapo. What was your soccer experience like there?
First 2 years were kind of trying to figure out who I was. I was switching positions as well. I started off as the forward. Then second year, I moved back to left back. And then junior year came around and I went back up to forward and I broke out and went crazy my junior year. It was a great program, good coaches, great teammates. And we had record season breaking junior year where we made it to the NCAA Sweet 16. I was second in the country with goals scored and first in the country in game winning goals. So it was pretty crazy, 17-4 record. And then senior year came around, and I was still at forward, played every game, battled a couple injuries though. I think most of our seniors battled a couple injuries throughout the year, but overall it was a great experience. Loved the school, loved the coaches, and loved my teammates for sure.
And you played for FC Motown. Did that overlap with you playing in college as well?
No, that was mostly in the spring/summer. So okay. I did that going into my senior year, which helped me greatly in the adaptation to the pro level, semi-pro/pro level.
How did you get involved with them?
They contacted me after my junior year to come train with them. And actually, I was going to play for Atlantic City FC, and they kind of swooped me and wanted me. So I liked the guys over there, and I was training with them throughout the spring and the winter even. And we had a great summer together last year.
And just, I guess, the nature of one playing college ball in the area, and then two featuring for FC Motown. Is that where New York first caught wind of you?
I think so. The Motown guys have connections with the Red Bulls as well, so I'm pretty sure they came out to see a couple games. Like Sashi, the head coach, he's played for Red Bulls, so he knows the play style, and he gave me a few tips along the way, so he helped me greatly. All those guys did.
Sashi's a good friend of the show. He's been on before, so now you have joined the pantheon of Red Bull and ex-Red Bull players.
Yeah.
And what's been the big change for you now heading to Red Bull? You know, you were able to get some prep playing for those FC Motown and playing in college, but I got to imagine this is a pretty big change for you.
Yes, it's a pretty big change. That combine that I went to in December gave me a little preview of what was expected, I'd say. It's just basically full press. Fitness has to be there day in, day out. And you got to outwork everybody. So the high pressing game that they play, I like. So I think it fits me well with my fitness and how I attack the ball and go forward a lot.
And you were talking earlier about wanting to be a little bit faster with your feet. Is there any other area where you look at, when I was speaking to Smod, he was talking about watching that first game a lot and looking at what he could change. Have you been doing the same thing?
Yes, I've watched that game over a couple times. I think the one thing I could do is probably When I win those aerial headers, target them to my next player forward so we can get going forward again and move the line up. So I think that's about it, though.
I think that's a pretty tricky part of the Red Bull system, is that even in winning the ball, the biggest thing is continuing to find advantages moving forward.
Yes. That's a huge part in their organization that they run through our heads every day.
And how's it been to work with Ibra and John?
Oh, I love Ibra and John. They work with me. I work with Ibra individually sometimes after practice. They give me great tips and keep me going to work better, get back, and just keep working on my game to make it to the next level even.
Did you watch either of them play in their careers?
Yes, I've watched a couple highlights of each of them play. They were pretty good players.
I got to think anytime John wants to work on finishing with the strikers, he just plays that clip of his game-winning volley against Columbus.
Yes, I've seen that, yes. That was a great volley.
Joe, this has been fantastic talking to you. If you're ready for the lightning round, I'd love to put you through it.
I'm ready.
All right. Question 1. Popcorn, yes or no?
Yes.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Super Mario or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Super Mario.
Favorite team to play as in FIFA?
Manchester City.
You know, so few of any of you players ever say the New York Red Bulls. I think you could get bonus points for that. And who has the worst haircut on the New York Red Bulls too?
Ooh. As a joke, I'm going to go with Samad.
Excellent. I love when the players start turning on each other. Well, Joe, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. We hope that you stay healthy and safe throughout all this, and hopefully we see you back out on the field soon.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was a great experience. We'll keep in touch. Thank you.
Well, that's it for our show today. I want to thank Joe Fala for coming on and talking to us. It was nice to hear from him. And like I said at the top, I hope everybody out there is healthy and safe and doing the best that you can in the circumstances. I know that things are crazy out there, but just keep your chins up. It's hard. Definitely hard. But hopefully, like I said, these kinds of podcasts just help you keep your mind off of it and entertained while we're all kind of sheltering in place. I'm not going to do our normal send-off. I've talked about that during the week, but I will, of course, shout out our sponsors, BGN.FM, Roughneck Scarves, and Icarus FC. Make sure you guys are going out there and supporting local businesses where possible. And hopefully, like I said, we're through this soon. For myself, for Joe Fala, thank you very much, and have a great night.